But really, I'm here for you. You're musicians, I guess?
Sí, son todos. Estoy aquí para ustedes. ¿Son músicos?
Sí. So, if you can think about questions, about subjects you want to speak about.
Así que si quieren pensar en cosas para preguntar.
And I can take it from there. I can play a little bit. You can play a little bit.
O lo podemos tomar desde ahí, ¿no? Desde una pregunta o me pongo a tocar o.
Really,
Can you show us some exercises to the ear training?
Ear training.
¿Nos podrían enseñar algún ejercicio para entrenar el oído?
Great question. So first, I'll say that.
Primero diré.
Yeah, ear training is one of the most important things.
Educar el oído es una de las cosas más importantes.
In music education and training.
En la música, en la educación musical.
I think about it like a language.
Yo pienso en ello como un idioma.
And if someone speaks to you and you don't understand the language, your way of interacting and reacting is very limited.
Si tú hablas con una persona y no conoces el idioma, pues la interacción entre ambas pues es un poco difícil, ¿no?
Yeah, so the idea is to be able to recognize the words.
La idea es reconocer entonces las palabras.
And then do something with it.
Y después hacer algo con esas palabras, ¿no?
I try to really keep a routine of practicing ear training every day.
Intento mantener una rutina con el educar el oído.
It's like a muscle.
Es como un músculo.
Yeah, if you don't train it for a minute, then it gets lost.
Si no lo entrenas a cada momento, pues lo pierdes, ¿no?
So there are many different aspects for ear training.
Entonces hay muchos aspectos diferentes para el entrenamiento del oído.
You can divide it for the different instruments.
Lo puedes dividir en ciertos instrumentos, ¿no?
So, for example, if you play with a band, with a saxophone player, with a saxophone player.
Si tocas con una banda con un saxofonista.
And with a bass player.
Con un bajista.
And a guitar player, then it's three different instruments that get inside your system in a different way.
Claro, son tres instrumentos diferentes que se te meten en el oído, ¿no?
So I make a point to work on like ear training for bass, for example.
Entonces, a veces basa su entrenamiento de oído pues en el bajo, ¿no?
Yeah. So let's say I listen to a Miles Davis recording.
Entonces escucha una grabación de Miles Davis.
And Tony Williams is
Tony Williams,
Herbie and everyone, but I would listen to Ron Carter,
Pero escucharía a Ron Carter.
And try to make like a transcription almost of the walking bass.
Entonces intentaría hacer una transcripción del walking
bass,
bajo,
walking bass. Ding 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 ding. Behind the solo of Miles Davis.
Detrás del solo de Miles Davis.
And
write it down.
And sometimes I will write it down.
Sí, algunas veces los escribiría.
And sometimes I would just be conscious of what he's playing and if, for example.
Y en otras veces pues estaría simplemente consciente de lo que está tocando, ¿no?
Yeah. And if there's many times where you hear like the traditional way of going between G minor to C to F, and it's like so I can hear it and I can interact, but then Ron would go up in the bass and he would do some stuff that I don't know what it is. It just sounds different.
Ya me perdí.
So,
Vale.
yeah, exactly. So I would make a point to stop the recording there.
Entonces pararía lo que es la grabación.
Yeah, and rewind and figure out what he's doing.
Entonces, iría para atrás, rebobinaría y miraría a ver lo que está haciendo, ¿no?
And it's like a special ear for a bass, for example.
Entonces educar un poco el oído hacia un instrumento en sí, que es el bajo.
Yeah. And then the same for guitar players.
Y lo mismo para el guitarrista.
You listen to a guitar player, then I would try to listen to every note of the chord that the guitar player is playing.
Cuando escucharía la guitarra, estaría escuchando cada nota de las acordes que tocaría el guitarrista.
So it's simple to not simple, but it's intuitive to hear like the top note of the chord of the guitar player.
Entonces es intuitivo escuchar la nota alta de la guitarra.
Yeah, the guitar player will play. So I will hear this,
Entonces escucharía eso, la nota alta.
But I will make a point to hear.
Entonces también intentaría escuchar todo lo que son todas las notas del mismo ese acorde.
All this between things that gets lost a lot of times.
O sea, hay unas notas entre medio que se pierden un poco más, ¿no?
Yeah, and for me, what I admire about the musicians that I admire is that they really pay attention to details.
Para mí, lo que yo admiro de las personas a las que admiro es que
Pay attention to details.
sí, que como que sí, prestar atención a esos pequeños detalles, ¿no?
Yeah, to everything that's going on stage.
De todo lo que está sucediendo en el escenario, ¿no?
In the recording.
O en una grabación.
And once you get into it, it's like your mind can explode. There's so much information.
Y una vez que te metes dentro, pues un poco tu mente puede explotar, ¿no? De todo lo que hay, todos esos detalles que hay en el medio, ¿no? Dentro.
That we're being selective. Our ear is very selective.
Estamos siendo selectivos también. Nuestro oído es muy selectivo, ¿no?
Yeah. So I will take like a short segment, like 5 seconds, and I will try to hear everything that happened in those 5 seconds.
Entonces tomaría un segmento cortito de 5 segundos e intentaría averiguar todo lo que está sucediendo o lo que estoy escuchando en esos 5 segundos.
What's the chord that Herbie played? What the bass note that Ron played?
¿Cuál es el acorde del piano? Lo que toca el bajo.
If it's a F major chord and Herbie played this, but Ron at that moment played a D flat. So I would try to pay attention and to understand that it's I would try to pay attention and to understand that it sounds so good because of the combination.
Sí, estaría tan atento a lo que está escuchando que suena tan bien por la combinación de lo que están haciendo en ese momento, ¿no?
You know, there's many times where we transcribe.
Sí, hay muchas veces que transcribimos.
That we transcribe something and then it sounds great and we
Suena bien.
We bring it into our concert, into our gig, and it doesn't sound as great.
Sí, a veces él transcribe cosas que a lo mejor él lo absorbe, lo intenta plasmar en directo y no suena tan bien.
And you don't have, like, I'm playing that chord, why does it sound good?
Sí, dice, estoy tocando ese acorde, ¿por qué no suena tan bien?
Because Ron is not playing the D flat behind.
Porque el Ron no está tocando el si bemol.
Re bemol.
¿Eh?
Re bemol.
Re bemol, sorry.
You know, so it's really like open up to everything. So
Estar muy atento a todo, ¿no? Muy abierto.
yeah, so this was my introduction, and
Esta es mi introducción.
but so I will work with it on different ways, like on a melodic,
Trabajo de diferentes formas, de forma melódica,
and then harmonic, and then also rhythmic.
de la armonía, del ritmo.
Yeah, and I isolate things very much so.
Always by a recording.
No, that's like this is one thing. Listening to a recording, but I will also.
Intento separar las cosas y escuchar a las grabaciones.
Yeah, but I also sit home, and I will.
Pero también me siento en casa y
I will think of a note, and then I try to really hear it
pensar en una nota y realmente escucharlo
before I play. And then,
antes de tocarlo.
You know, I try to sing it before I play it. You know, for example,
Intento cantarlo antes de tocarlo también, ¿no?
that's like one thing. And then, for example, I will find a chord.
Buscaría otro acorde.
I play this chord, and then I will try to really listen to all of the notes inside of this chord.
Intentaré escuchar cada nota dentro de ese acorde.
So you know how many notes are in this chord?
¿Sabes cuántas notas hay en ese acorde?
4 notes, exactly.
4 notas.
So can you sing the notes?
Exactamente. ¿Pueden cantar esa
Yeah, almost.
nota?
But the top. This is the most. Yeah, exactly. So. You know, so you find a chord that you like, and then
Busca
you
un
just-
acorde.
and work on it like this, you know.
Y trabar así, ¿no?
For example, and then if you take this chord, for example, you start orchestrating in a different way.
Intentar orquestar de diferentes formas.
Orchestrate. So, and I put it
Tomo
up.
esa nota y la subo.
You know what I mean?
¿Entiendes lo que digo?
Yeah, change the octave, change things, and
Cambiar la octava, cambiar cosas.
and It's really important to make a differentiation between the work at home, the laboratory,
Es muy importante diferenciar entre el trabajo en casa
and on stage.
y en el escenario, ¿no?
Okay, because when you play with a band and then the piano player is doing, like, you can't just like each chord, you can't do it. It's too fast.
O sea, no puede, los acordes son demasiado rápidos, ¿no?
But this work trickles down.
Sí,
Yeah, the work gets into your system, and
pero el sistema, en el trabajo de alguna forma se integra en ti, ¿no?
yeah, and something gets with you on stage. It's a long process.
Y algo empieza a aparecer en lo que es la parte en vivo, ¿no?
And sometimes
Proceso largo.
Sometimes students will ask me, what should I do to be a great, piano player?
Muchos estudiantes me preguntan qué tengo que hacer para ser un gran pianista.
And my answer usually is, be patient.
Y mi respuesta siempre es ser un poco paciente.
It's a lifelong process.
Es un proceso de vida.
And for me the idea is to be willing to go through that road every day, come back to it, fail, succeed, and then just keep on doing it all the time.
Sí, y para mí es el camino ese, ¿no? De seguir continuamente sobre eso, ¿no?
Yeah, and keep your ears and heart open. And
y mantener el oído y el corazón abierto, ¿no?
I recently found this application.
Recientemente encontré esta aplicación
of ear training.
Para entrenar el oído.
It's called Harmonomics. It's pretty great.
Se llama Harmonomics.
So, the most simple is like interval, for example.
Lo más simple es lo de los intervalos.
So it will play like an interval, and it says major second, perfect four, like you have all the options.
Te va enseñando intervalos y diferentes opciones.
And you need to choose. So this is fifth. So you press fifth.
How do you spell it?
Like harmonomics, but with CS at the end. CS. And it's a pretty great application.
Es una buena aplicación.
I'm doing a commercial here, but it's so this is like the most basic stuff, but it gets really.
Es bastante básico, pero
se
convierte bastante.
It gets, so you can decide of how many notes you want to hear.
Puedes decirle cuántas notas quieres escuchar en los intervalos.
And that's a lot, Hey.
Son bastantes, ¿no?
And then you said the major second, major fifth, major, it gets to this, and then sometimes it will play like a chord. It will do like.
Un acorde.
Okay, major fifth,
Mayor quinta.
This is just like 1, 2, but the idea behind it is to just keep on doing it. I did many transcriptions. Like I took a Keith Jarrett solo, wrote it down. I took
la idea es
piano solo.
Sí, transcribir todo lo que puedas, ¿no?
So just do it. And the idea actually is really to get to a place where the saxophone player is playing.
Y la idea es llegar a un sitio donde está tocando el saxofonista.
Like and you know exactly what he did.
Y sabes exactamente lo que ha hecho, ¿no?
Like so you know. And if I wanted to, I can repeat it right after the saxophone player.
Y si yo quiero, simplemente lo repetiría detrás
to
del
get to this
saxofonista,
level.
¿no?
That you can just say the words exactly after he played or she played.
Puedes decir las palabras exactamente igual que las dijo él.
And you don't need to repeat it, but you know what it is.
No necesitas repetirlo, pero sabes lo que está tocando.
So, and I will answer with a chord,
Y yo le respondería con un acorde.
With the last notes that he played,
la última nota de la última nota.
Yeah, it will be like the top note of my
sería
voicing,
la nota alta de mi acorde.
So, I know exactly.
Sí, él sabría la escala que está tocando.
Yeah, so he'll play like a, and then or he'll play. Now play. Just answer in the same language that she's. I'll speak in male, but it's for everyone.
Contestar en el mismo idioma que lo que está hablando él.
So I know that he played like a diminished scale. So I
Yo sé
can
que
choose
estaría una escala
diminished.
disminuida, ¿no?
Yeah. And then I can choose to answer with diminished or to say like, okay, I get what you're saying and I'm still going to give you.
Yo sé que él está en esa escala, pero yo también puedo hacer otra cosa, ¿no?
And that's
hacia otro lado,
yeah.
sabiendo lo que está tocando.
And that's where your personality comes in.
Y ahí es donde entra tu personalidad.
So you're like when your choices, how can I explain it? The philosophy that I'll tell you how something about the way I practice to explain it. So at home when I practice, I have a board.
Tengo una pizarra.
That has all the exercises that I'm working on.
Tiene todos los ejercicios con los que yo trabajo.
So like it says transcribe, triplets, 16th notes. Whatever, drop 2 chords.
Bajar 2 notas.
And then it would say like names of people that are inspirational for me.
Y después pondría nombres de personas que son para mí una inspiración.
And one of the things that it says Chris Potter. You know Chris Potter?
Una de las cosas que dice
Chris Potter / Superman. That's what I wrote. Chris Potter is the name of a guy / Superman.
Ah, vale. Chris Potter en guión Superman.
Superman. And for me, Chris Potter, do you know Chris Potter?
Para mí Chris Potter.
Yeah, he is Superman.
Es Superman.
Yeah, he can play anything, on any tempo, on any scale.
Puede tocar todo en cualquier tempo, en cualquier escala.
Just say it and everything is there for him. You know, he kind of covered.
Y está todo para él, ¿no?
All the technical aspect of music, cubre
todos los aspectos técnicos de la música.
And for me, the philosophy is to be able to get to this point where you can do everything.
Y para mí la filosofía es llegar a este punto donde puedes conseguir todo, ¿no?
Again, the saxophone player. You hear everything, you know it, and then you choose.
Escuchas todo, ¿lo entiendes?
And then you choose it.
Después escoges tu acorde.
Yeah. So when I practice, it's really like I'm trying to grasp and surround as many aspects of music as I can, and ear training is one.
Cuando practico, pues intento coger todo en su globalidad, todos los aspectos de la música.
Yeah, there's a million subjects that we can talk about, but
hay muchas cosas de las que podemos hablar.
Yeah, sure. Any other questions?
¿Alguna otra pregunta?
Okay, see you, bye.
Si puedes hablar del concepto rítmico, the rhythmic concept of your music.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you understand that?
Yeah. I think it's a similar thing like as ear training. It's very
muy parecido
wide.
a lo del entrenamiento del oído, ¿no? Es un rollo muy amplio.
It's incredibly wide, and there's different aspects of rhythm that also come from different cultures.
Y hay muchos aspectos del ritmo que vienen de diferentes culturas.
I grew up in Israel.
Yo nací en Israel.
And in Israel, our music is very, very basic. Like it's a 4 or 3.
En nuestra música es bastante básica, ¿no? Un 3, 4.
But I have really huge love for music from other cultures. Like I love.
Pero tengo mucho amor por música de otras culturas, ¿no?
Yeah, I'm completely in love with Cuban music.
Me encanta la música cubana.
With flamenco, actually.
Flamenco.
With I play with you know Ari Honig. You know this drummer?
Toco con
Ari Honig.
Harry Honig.
Yeah, it's a drummer in New York that really took rhythm to the next level, like very cerebral and how to take 5 and put 4 on top of it and then put 9.
Es un músico de Nueva York que llevó el ritmo como a otro nivel, ¿no?
Yeah, and each culture has a different way of approaching it.
Y cada cultura tiene una diferente forma de llegar a él, ¿no?
So like one of my biggest schools of rhythm is I have a friend, percussion player.
Tengo un amigo percusionista.
That we took a bulería from Tomatito.
And una bulería.
Yeah. From Tomatito.
From Tomatito.
Tomate.
Ketchup.
Yeah, ketchup. And we transcribed it together.
Y lo transcribimos juntos.
It took. We were like 21. It was like 10 years ago almost.
Fue como hace 10 años.
But he came to my apartment every day.
Vino a ver mi apartamento todos los días.
And we just sat and we like it's like a 5-6 minute of bulería, you know, like.
Nos sentamos
and we transcribed like every
5 o 6 minutos de...
single note that's played
Y
there.
transcribimos cada nota del ritmo, ¿no?
Yeah, so it's like there's a guitar and then there's the cajon and then there's the udu, I think also.
La
There's the
guitarra, el
playing.
cajón, el udu.
So like we both learned the parts of the cajon, both learned the parts of the udu.
Entonces los
You
dos
know udu?
aprendimos la parte del cajón y la parte del udú.
As a this one. It's been 10 years, I can't remember.
Fue hace 10 años, ya no me acuerdo.
I think it's Ami por mi tío Ramón or something like this. It's called. Anyway.
Se llama por mi tío Ramón, creo.
I think. So that learning this was a completely different world for me because you know the way that the bulería moves.
Aprender esto fue como entrar en otro mundo, ¿no? La forma de que cómo se mueve la bulería.
Because it's in 12, right?
Porque están 12, ¿no?
Yeah, but or 6 if you want. And the way jazz musicians treat 6 is completely different than
la forma que los músicos de jazz tratan
So again, like it comes to the world of transcribing, in ear training, but on a rhythmical.
Entonces se vuelve otra vez a la hora de el rollo de transcribir, ¿no? Pero en este caso la parte rítmica.
Yeah, so Cuban music, for example, I play congas.
En la música cubana toco las congas.
Yeah, so like that's actually the thing I practice the most when I'm home. I don't I wake up in the morning and I have like a
casi lo más que practico en casa son las congas, ¿no? Me levanto por la mañana y
you know.
Yeah.
Muy bueno. Wow. So, same with drums.
Lo mismo con la batería.
And once you play a percussive instrument, you have a whole different way of approaching the piano or any other instrument.
Tienes también una forma diferente de acceder a otros instrumentos, ¿no?
So, so the idea again is the Superman concept is like
la idea otra vez el concepto es el Superman.
You get to a level where you can really hear everything that the drummer is playing. So the drummer will like
llegar al nivel donde sabes exactamente lo que toca la batería, ¿no?
You know, so he will do it, and I will hear it. I will hear
él lo haría y yo lo oigo.
And I can sing it or repeat it after him.
Yo lo puedo cantar o repetir detrás de él.
I would choose to outline, like in a painting, you know, in a drawing.
Escojo subrayar.
Just put like a little. So. You know what I mean? And I don't need to play. But I hear it. I know it.
Sí, lo escucho, lo entiendo, lo sé.
And that's the language, you know, of jazz.
Es el lenguaje del jazz.
You play like a drummer.
Tocar como batería.
Yeah. So good job, by the way. So that's like one aspect of it, and then there's the aspect of, you know, like I have Bulgarian roots. My grandmother lived in Bulgaria.
Es uno de los aspectos, ¿no? También tengo una madre de Bulgaria.
Yeah. So there's all that, like 11/8, 7/8, 13, all this world is like a completely different thing.
Entonces todo ese mundo es completamente diferente también.
So again, stay hungry.
Entonces mantente con un poquito de hambre.
Yeah, and just I get into periods where I just explore flamenco for like a year, and
entonces hay momentos donde me pongo a explorar diferentes cosas, ¿no? Flamenco.
Yeah, and then the interesting thing is like you go on stage and you play a ballad, you know.
Lo interesante es que después llegas al escenario y tocas una balada.
But all this education, all this role is in.
Pero está ahí dentro, ¿no? De alguna forma.
It's inside your system. So
está dentro de ti.
The triplets, right? And I can 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5. I can you know go between stuff, and I can.
Puedo ir entre medio de las cosas, ¿no?
Yeah, and like in flamenco and in bulería, so they changed the chord on like
En flamenco
on the
bulería
second
cambia,
hit of the compass, right?
cambia los acordes en el segundo.
So
segundo compás.
like 12 1 2 right? This is where they change the chord. So you take this
Cuando cambia
concept
el acorde, ¿no?
to jazz.
Coger
So,
ese concepto y llevarlo al jazz.
so instead of this, you're doing. You know what I mean? So you change the harmony later.
Cambias la armonía después, ¿no?
So it all becomes this mezcla inside, you know, it all becomes this,
Todo se convierte en una mezcla, ¿no?
yeah, this mix that the idea is to not think about it when you go on stage.
Sí, la idea no es pensar en ello cuando estás en el escenario, ¿no?
I don't say like, oh, let's do it like a bulería, like I'm playing, okay, let's bring this like Cuban hit inside.
Sí,
you know?
yo no pienso que voy a hacer ahora, me voy a meter un rollo cubano o una bolería.
I don't think about it like this. It just becomes a part of your nature.
No lo pienso, sino se convierte en algo, parte de ti, ¿no?
Yeah.
De tu naturaleza.
And I have a lot of respect for folklore musicians.
Tengo un montón de respeto por músicos de folclore.
Yeah, I'm not a flamenco player. I'm not a Cuban player.
No soy-
I'm not
no
even
soy-
a jazz player.
No soy un,
You know, I
músico
play
de jazz
music
ni
and I
de flamenco. Soy
explore.
de jazz, no de flamenco.
Yeah, I explore things but the idea is not to be afraid to dive into this
O sea, intento explorar diferentes cosas y meterlo en lo
into
mismo.
these cultures. I was obsessed with understanding the concept of the compass, of where you guys feel the downbeat.
He estado obsesionado por saber dónde
The downbeat.
el downbeat.
Yeah, because it's really confusing in flamenco. You know, there's a different, like, you know, the bulería and seguiría, like there's so many different things. So I just yesterday at dinner with Mark Miralta, the drummer.
Ayer en la cena con Mark Miranda,
He's trying to eat, and I'm like, yeah, man, but in seguiría, how do you do that? And it was driving him crazy, you know, just asking questions and questions.
sí, estaba ahí comiendo y él preguntando cosas sobre sus patrones rítmicos.
And he's explaining the concept of where you change, where you change, how do you treat the 2, how do you treat the 3, how,
Sí,
you know, all
y
this
explicaba las
kind of stuff.
diferentes formas de cómo tratar el 2, el 3,
And that's the idea, just like keep at it.
sí, y seguir en ello, ¿no?
And yeah, we can do a masterclass only on rhythm.
Podemos hacer una masterclass solamente en parte rítmica, ¿no?
Yeah, the rhythm actually is my first attraction. It's my main love.
Es una de mis atracciones, la primera atracción es la parte rítmica.
I'm trying to stop actually and to focus on melody and harmony.
Estoy intentando parar y centrarme más en lo que es la melodía y la armonía.
Yeah, but rhythm is my thing. I love it so much.
El ritmo es lo que me gusta realmente y me encanta.
So that's like one aspect, or a few aspects. And another one is the odd meters.
Eso es uno de los aspectos. Y el otro aspecto es
Odd meters. Like we have three, 1, 2, 3, 1, or like Malagama. Okay. So you know, we play 3, we play 4, and then in the jazz world, people play 5, and people play 7.
Otra gente toca 5 o 7.
Yeah, uneven. Yeah,
Uneven.
uneven. Yeah. And to learn how to play over this kind of stuff. I played
Saber cómo tocar sobre este tipo de cosas, ¿no?
I played many years with Avishai Cohen, you know.
Toqué muchos años con Avishai Cohen.
And his music is really
Y su música es muy
shifting and like
muy
shifting
cambiante, ¿no?
shifting meters.
Sí, cambiar de ritmo.
Yeah,
Cambiar de
inside, you know, there'll be
Sí,
one
cambian
bar of
mucho.
5 and then one bar of 7 and one.
Vale, sí cambian mucho los patrones de tiempo, ¿no?
métrica.
Yeah, and that we play in 4 and then there's like one bar of 5 in the middle and then.
Tú tocas una de 4, después hay un cambio de
Wow. And so the idea for me with this kind of stuff
Y la idea para mí sobre este tipo de cosas
was to, again, Superman, to isolate.
era el rollo Superman, ¿no? Intentar
Isolate?
Sí.
Yeah.
Aislar.
And say, okay, so this composition is like a bar 4, bar 4, bar 4, and a bar of 5. Right?
4, 5.
Yeah. So 4, I'm okay. 4, 4, 4 is fine. But the bar 5, every time I get there, my body is like, you know.
La de 4 estaba bien, pero cuando ya llegaba al de 5 ya el
So,
cuerpo se me ponía...
Yeah. So what do we work on? 5.
Entonces, ¿qué trabajamos en 5?
So I took 5 as my project for a year, you know.
Entonces cogí el 5 como parte de mi proyecto.
So people take 5, exactly, which is okay, but take 17 is a little bit different. So people came to my house to play sessions.
Entonces la gente venía a mi casa a tocar sesiones
In New York,
en Nueva York.
and I am this annoying kid that's like, oh, you want to play this in 17, you know.
Entonces yo era el típico niño
Annoying, yeah.
sí,
Like, whatever.
molesto.
Yeah, yeah.
Tocaba 17.
So let's say, let's play all the things you are
Vamos a tocar todas las cosas que
in 13, in 17, you know, and then
17.
and then all of us don't know how to do it,
Y
we
ninguno de
don't.
nosotros sabemos cómo hacerlo.
But we try, you know, and then once you try, you see like, oh wow, okay, so 13 is hard for us because
Sabíamos que 13 era difícil ya para nosotros.
it's kind of like, you know, 4, 4, so it's 8, again 5, 4, 4, 5, you know.
4, 4, 5.
So you isolate this and you say, so 5 is really my problem.
Entonces realmente sabíamos que el 5 era lo que era nuestro problema, ¿no?
So you play 5, everything in 5, you know.
Entonces tocábamos todo en 5.
You know what I mean? Until you become super comfortable with 5.
Hasta que te conviertes súper cómodo con el 5.
And a lot of times when people ask me about the ways I work on odd meters,
La gente me pregunta de la forma en que me siento más cómodo cuando toco en
odd meters, how do you say odd meters?
impares.
Impar.
Sí,
No, odd meters is odd meters. Odd meters, yeah,
Impar.
like 5 or 7 or 9. Is I try to find something that is round,
Intentar buscar algo que sea como redondo,
like a circle, something that is cyclical
algo cíclico, ¿no?
in this meters, because usually what happens is
Normalmente
that
lo que pasa
it's uneven. These meters are.
si son impares, no son
So-
métricas impares.
Usually we'll do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. You know, it will be like every downbeat that counts. You're like, okay, that's the one. That's the downbeat, and I try to find something that will go, you know,
Intentar
over the
buscar
bar
algo-
line,
Sí, intentar buscar algo que sea totalmente cíclico, ¿no?
and to find something that has a flow.
Y algo que tenga fluidez, ¿no?
Yeah. So a very useful tool is
Una herramienta bastante útil
a 3.
es el 3.
Yeah, like dotted. Sorry, it's technical. Dotted quarter notes.
Cuarto notas, ¿no?
Dotted with a dot.
Entonces, sí, cuarto nota con punto.
Yeah. So for example, if we're in 4, like, yeah.
Sorry.
Come on, man. So, like, let's say we're in 4.
Vamos a
One,
decir que estamos en 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. So 16 notes.
16.
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. And then I'll find the dotted quarter, which is an accent on every 3.
El acento cada 3, ¿no?
Yeah. So like 1, 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and these are the beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. After 3 cycles, it zeroes down to the same.
Sí, después de varios ciclos se cierra otra vez al
And
punto de inicio.
this feeling is a feeling of something like that flows and doesn't stop every bar.
Sí, es un sentimiento que es de fluidez, ¿no? Y que no para en
Exacto.
cada
Exacto.
banda.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So basically, the feeling that I have is like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, cut, boom. So instead of this, it makes it this. You understand?
Si en vez de esto hace esto.
It's more like in 5. 1, 2,
Cinco.
3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, same. chakataka, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, chakataka, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, chakataka, boom. Same. So the drummer plays 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so boom. You know what I mean? So I would do it a lot with drumming.
Entonces haría mucho con lo que es
I sit at
batería.
home, get in my kind of isolated world, you know, it's like
un poco en mi mundo, ¿no?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's hard. You know what I mean? And do this, and then say, okay, so we put accents every 3. Let's see what happens when we put every 5.
Entonces empiezo a hacer acentos en cada fil, ¿no?
Yeah, and every 3, and then I say,
Cada 3.
what happens if I put it every 5?
¿Qué pasa si lo hago cada 5?
No, so again, we're in 4.
Vamos en 4.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, right? And then I put every 5, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a long one. It takes 5 cycles to complete.
Más largo, ¿no? Tarda más tiempo en hacer el recorrido.
You know, and you become comfortable with this.
Empiezas a sentirte cómodo con ello, ¿no?
And then my hungry student kid mind will say,
Después mi hambre un poco de aprender, mis ansias de aprender.
oh, what happens if we put 7?
¿Y qué pasa si ponemos 7?
Oh, what happens if we put 9?
¿Qué pasa
Why
si
would we put
ponemos
like 11 and 13? And then,
11, 13?
what happens if we do it on triplets? Chakata,
Entonces
chakata,
hacemos
chakata,
triplets.
chakata, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You know, what happens if we change the subdivision? What happens if we put it this? What happens?
Entonces si cambiamos subdivisiones.
And that's the difference for me. Like if you're hungry, you will never stop. You know,
Si
you
tienes
just have-
ansias, nunca vas a parar. ¿no?
what happens if we do? You know.
¿Qué pasa si?
And that's the secret. And it gets to a point where you're so comfortable with this that you don't even need the beat anymore.
Que ya un momento que estás tan cómodo que ya no necesitas ni poner pie, ¿no? Para sentir el ritmo, ¿no?
Yeah, you're just comfortable with this. So with this
Está.
polyrhythm, for example.
Estás como cómodo con este polirritmo.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, take it. Every 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, done, right? So I leave this, it's like 1, 2, 3, and you stay. Da, 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 da. I hear, in my mind, I hear cha, that's the beat.
No, escucho eso en mi mente, ¿no?
I
Ese es el
hear
ritmo.
this in my mind. But cha, 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 cha. Right, and then I'll go on stage and I'm like I don't count, I just start like. Cha, cha, and I hear cha, 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 but you don't hear it.
Pero tú no lo oyes, ¿no?
I'm not giving you the beat. So there's this
No te dando el
mystery
ritmo.
that you hear, like, yeah, it's
Un cierto
It's-
misterio, ¿no?
it's rubato.
Magicians.
What's that?
Magicians you are.
Yeah, it's like being a magician because you
Sí,
don't
un poco como ser mago,
show
¿no?
the secret, but there's all this thing that goes behind.
Claro, no enseñas el secreto, pero hay todo un rollo que hay detrás, ¿no?
So again. So I'll play. like 3 chords, but just hold it. You know what I mean?
Estoy dando 3 acordes, pero ahí.
So in solo piano it's great because no one is defining it, but with the band it's even better. Like you start a song, no one knows where you are, but everyone feels that there's something.
Sí, cuando tocas solo no es lo mismo, ¿no? Pero
There's
cuando hay
something
una
behind.
banda y tocas algo, pues.
And then you can if let's say in my mind I hear
Deja decir, en mi mente oigo.
I hear this.
Escucho esto.
And I have like this whole drum solo in my mind.
Entonces tengo como un solo de batería en la cabeza, ¿no?
I hear all this.
No, escucho todo esto en mi
I
mente.
give you this.
Yo te doy esto.
And then people like when I play with my trio, like
toco mi trío,
my
¿no?
musicians, I give one chord and I start like dancing, and you don't hear anything. I'm just playing one chord, but they're smiling. They're like, okay, yeah, I see what's coming, you know. And then like. So you live in a dimension between what you're giving, what you're not giving.
Vives una dimensión donde es lo que das, lo que no das, ¿no? Es un poco.
It's really endless. It's really endless.
Es interminable realmente.
The wonderful thing about playing with Ari,
Lo bueno de tocar con Ari,
that he is really like a kid.
Él es muy como un niño, ¿no?
You know, so like we build the tension, like
Entonces vamos creando tensiones.
going somewhere, like, and everyone feels it's like gonna go into this downbeat, like this huge explosion.
Vamos yendo hacia un rollo donde se parece que va a parar o algo.
Like we hear. Everyone which was, but Ari will continue, you know.
Pero Ali continuaría, ¿no?
Yeah. Downbeat, and we take it for like 4 more choruses.
Y después lo llevamos hacia 4 o 5 acordes más.
Of this kind of stuff, and that for me is the signal.
Para mí eso es como la señal
of creativity, you know, really,
de creatividad,
real love for this.
del amor hacia esto.
The music, I don't know, whatever it is, and then you forget about everything.
Y después te olvidas de todo, ¿no?
That's like one of the best advice I've ever gotten.
Es uno de los consejos mejores que me han dado.
I went to study with Semia Hel, you know him?
Estudié con
Semia Hel is a teacher. There's a
un
piano.
profesor.
And he said when you practice, you always balance between the parent and the child.
Y dijo que cuando practicas tiene que haber un balance entre el hijo y el padre, ¿no?
Yeah, the kid, yeah. And so the child wants to play.
O sea, el niño quiere jugar, ¿no?
And the father's like, no,
El padre es como, no,
do your homework.
no, haz tu tarea, ¿no?
So the father, the parent is the voice of discipline.
El padre es la voz de la disciplina.
So he said it's necessary that it will be this way when you practice.
Y dijo que era muy necesario que esto fuera así cuando practicaras, ¿no?
But when you go to the gig,
Pero cuando vas al concierto,
you leave the parents home.
pero dejas a los padres en casa.
You never take the parents to the gig.
Nunca llevas a tus padres al
You know what I mean?
concierto.
So never on stage you're like, oh, it's 5 and I'm going to put like 3 here and I'm not going to reveal what's in my head. Like it's none of this. It's all heart.
Es más corazón que la parte más.
Es solamente corazón.
Solamente corazón.
Yeah, it's really, and that's like the challenge. It's not. It's
un poco el reto, ¿no?
It's like imagine that I would talk to you and I would think about conjugations. Like, oh, I'm going to use the past tense now.
Imagínate que estuviera contigo y estuviera pensando en qué conjugación íbamos a hablar, ¿no?
You don't do it. You learn how to speak. You learn how to conjugate like a magician.
Sí,
and
aprendes
go
a
between
conjugar como un
verbs
mago
and create phrases
de crear frases y palabras.
And then you forget and you speak about
te olvidas y
love or soccer or whatever, you know.
Hablas de lo que sea, ¿no?
And it's the same thing. This is language.
Es básicamente lo mismo.
These things are nerdy, like.
Son cosas
Estúpidas.
No, not stupid. It's nerdy,
nerdy,
like a geek, you know, like a
geek,
geeky. How do you say it? Like a
friki, algo friki.
You know, like, ooh, I can do this, you know, which is fun. But when we go to on stage, you forget it. It's all just.
Sí, cuando vas a un escenario es más corazón.
You just play major chord and you listen and you let the spiritual part and the spirit, you know, everything come in and okay, what does a major chord make me feel?
Es un poco lo que sientes tú con un acorde, ¿no?
Yeah, so I can just keep going, but if you have any I hope answer the question. Any other question?
Bueno, en español. Cuando dices que cuando estás en concierto no hay tiempo para pensar, ¿no? Que la mano izquierda en la improvisación, que sueles hacer cuando ya no tienes tiempo para pensar, sino atacar con un drop o con drop 2 o con... ¿no? ¿Qué tipo de acompañamiento haces con la mano izquierda cuando estás en trío, por ejemplo?
Talking about the left hand?
Do you understand, eh?
So you're saying usually when the left hand is being played, there's no time to think and...
Que no...
When do you know the time for
to think and to be conscious of it?
To think.
Okay, everyone understood the question? Oh, heard the question? It was in Spanish, I guess you did. You know Aaron Parks?
¿Conoces a
Aaron Parks.
Aaron Parks?
He's an amazing piano player in New York. One of my favorites.
Increíble de Nueva York.
You know him. He gave me an amazing exercise.
Él me dio un ejercicio increíble.
It's so difficult. He said, play solo
Es muy difícil.
Play solo with your right hand.
Haz un solo con la mano derecha.
And the accompaniment with the left hand.
Y acompaña con la izquierda.
Right? But the solo in the right hand.
Pero solo en la mano derecha.
Is here.
Es ahí.
Here on the piano. And the
de
left hand is on the keys. So.
Y la mano izquierda en las teclas, ¿no?
Yeah, and he says, really hear what you would play.
Se escucha realmente lo que vayas a tocar, ¿no?
I hear it in my mind, but I play it.
En la mente, ¿no?
So, but the left hand plays on the piano, so.
Pero la mano izquierda toca el piano.
See, it's messing me up because.
Me está jodiendo.
I heard this, but you know what I mean? So. Wow, it's so hard. And what it does.
Es tan difícil, ¿no?
What it does.
Pero lo que hace.
Is that it surfaces, flows. How to say it? It brings us to the surface.
Sí, pero de alguna forma te hace como flotar, ¿no? O te lleva hacia
your left hand, and you take off the fog.
Sí, quitas como la niebla de la mano derecha.
Of the solo on the right hand, and you just hear. You know what I mean? So you're basically making room to start listening to the left hand.
Entonces empiezas a hacer espacio para escuchar la mano izquierda.
So that's an amazing thing that I recommend to all piano players.
Eso es una cosa bastante interesante que recomiendo a todos.
Yeah, all humans in general should do it.
A todos los humanos en su globalidad.
So that's one, and the second exercise is that I
segundo
got
ejercicio
from Sam, my teacher.
Sam también, mi profesor.
And that one is also incredibly hard and frustrating.
Y también es muy frustrante y muy increíble también.
So you take a solo with the right hand,
un solo con la mano derecha,
accompany with the left hand,
acompaña con la izquierda,
but you sing the top note.
Pero cantas la nota alta
of the left hand
de la mano izquierda, del acorde de la mano izquierda.
So, try to create a melody while
improvising. Crear la melodía mientras improvisas, ¿no?
Well, we're not going to be able to do it. It's so hard, man.
Es tan difícil.
It's so hard. The idea here is to just shift.
Pero la idea es
to shift your focus.
De cambiar el enfoque, ¿no?
To the left hand.
A la mano izquierda.
And you're right, like it's a disease for piano players.
Y la derecha es como una enfermedad para un pianista.
This like is like I might as well play it like this, you know. The right hand is doing stuff and the left hand is just like. But
sí,
man,
la mano izquierda está haciendo cosas y el muñón.
Yeah, but the thing is really to also like we spoke about in ear training. So be able to you really hear every note, you know.
Realmente escuchar todas esas notas, ¿no?
You can take it even further, like.
Y más allá también.
So you play this chord and you try to
Toca ese acorde, intenta
to bring up this note more than the other one.
intentar subir esa nota.
It's really hard. That's like some
Muy
classical
difícil también,
music
¿no?
work. Like they do it when you play Bach, when you play
Cosas de
fugues,
de
you try to
clásico,
bring
¿no?
out voices. So and try to play voicing that have a melodic
Intentar
line
tocar voces que tienen una
with this finger, you know,
línea melódica con ese
with the
dedo.
middle voice. That's what I hear, but
Es lo que escucho,
they have below and above.
pero hay uno debajo y otro arriba.
I hear
Escucho,
when I'm playing this chord. You know what I mean?
pero toco ese acorde.
So right now I'm focusing more and more on solo piano. So
Estoy enfocando más ahora al solo de piano.
so basically it's time for me to start admitting that I neglected my left hand throughout the years.
Y admitir que estoy un poquito
Neglected.
sí, sí,
I didn't give enough focus.
sí, que no le dio que tiene la mano de la derecha, ¿no?
and
No le va como le tiene que.
and start taking care of it. Start taking care of it, and it was a very painful realization, you know.
Una relación bastante difícil.
Yeah, like ouch. Okay, I have a lot of homework to do now. So
Tengo mucha tarea que hacer, ¿no?
yeah, in general that's a good concept. Work on things that you're not good at.
Sí, trabajar las cosas donde no eres bueno, ¿no?
Yeah, it's not so obvious. Like we used to,
No es tan obvio, ¿no?
we normally we look for a quick gratification,
Sí, normalmente buscamos una gratificación rápida, ¿no?
and so we play the stuff that we know,
Tocamos las cosas que sabemos tocar, ¿no?
but you know it. So don't do it. You know, work on what you don't know.
Y lo sabes, pues intenta tocar, intenta practicar las cosas que no sabes, ¿no? No sabes hacer también.
So that's a lifetime work
Sí,
right there for me too, huh?
un trabajo de vida, ¿no? Para él también.
Any other questions?
¿Cómo organizas el tiempo para todos los aspectos de estudio?
Practicar?
Dentro de esto, sí.
Just make sure I got it right. How do I arrange my time to
Yeah, how do you organize
arrange
yourself?
my practice?
So if you focus on an expert or you just cover them all?
Yeah, okay, so this is a great question because there's a trap here.
Esto es una gran pregunta porque hay una trampa aquí.
How do you say trap?
Trampa, ¿no?
Trap, like for a trap for a bear, like the
Trampa.
trampa. Okay. Trump.
Donald Trump.
No, don't. What's that?
If you put an A at the end, you get the word.
If you put an A, trampa.
Ah.
Trampa.
Okay, I'll stay with trampa, no Trump. Okay. Don't get me started on this, man. There's a trap there. We practice a lot of things,
Practicamos muchas cosas
and we a lot of times we feel like we don't make any progress.
y muchas veces pensamos que no hacemos ningún tipo de progreso, ¿no?
Right? You know this feeling when you're like,
¿Conoces esta sensación?
all of us know it very well. And there's a very basic thing that I understood, again thanks to Sam, this teacher,
Hay una cosa muy básica que aprendí gracias a Sam, a este profesor.
that if we practice stuff that we don't want to practice,
Si practicamos cosas que no queremos practicar,
we're not present.
no estamos presentes.
Mm? So when you sit next to the piano or next to your instrument,
Cuando te sientas al lado de un instrumento, tu instrumento, el piano,
you don't just practice
no solo
the
practicas
material.
la materia, ¿no?
You practice your connection to the instrument.
También practicas tu conexión hacia el instrumento o con el
And
instrumento.
you practice your presence,
Practicas tu
next to it.
presencia
and the thing is really to look at this as like a holy thing, you
Y
know,
un poco entender eso como algo sagrado, ¿no? Algo,
and never touch it if you're not here.
y nunca tocarlo si no estás aquí en sí, ¿no?
Yeah, which goes into this whole like other spiritual practice.
Sí,
and-
entra dentro de un rollo un poco
being
más
present,
espiritual, ¿no?
but specifically about music,
Pero específicamente dentro de lo que es la música,
the thing is, if you play, it happens a lot to drummers. You know, they sit,
pasa mucho a las baterías, ¿no?
practice rudiments, and watch a film.
Practican
watch a movie.
rudimentos, ¿eh?
And watch a movie. You know, like, or
Y
look,
mientras están tocando, pues están viendo una película.
like you do this, and you like go on Facebook and you.
Empiezan a tocar la batería, hacer ritmos, practicar ritmos y estar entretenidos con otra cosa, ¿no?
Yeah, and yeah, your hand will move, your muscles are being trained, but you're not present.
Sí, la parte muscular y los dedos aprenden, ¿no? Pero no estás presente, ¿no?
And not only you're practicing, not only you're practicing when you're not present,
No solo estás practicando cuando no estás presente,
you're practicing on not being present. You know what I mean?
estás practicando en no estar presente.
You're practicing your lack of connection.
Sí, estás practicando tu poca conectividad con tu
Yeah.
instrumento.
And it's an active practice of not being connected.
Y es una práctica activa de no estar conectado.
Yeah. And so when you go on stage,
Entonces cuando vas a un escenario, vas a tocar,
you have to untangle it and
Okay.
find your connection.
tienes que como soltar eso e intentar buscar tu conexión.
Because you practice all these hours while being on freaking Facebook.
Porque has estado todo este tiempo practicando con tu instrumento cuando has estado entretenido viendo, pensando en otra cosa o estando ausente.
Yeah. And then the drummer is doing like something and you're busy with creating the connection to the instrument.
Sí, entonces uno está tocando la batería tal y otro está pendiente en intentar conectar entre esos instrumentos.
Yeah.
¿no?
So one of the things that's written on my board
Entonces una de las cosas que está escrita en mi pizarra,
is stop.
stop,
Stop.
parar, stop.
And for me, that's the thing that is making me question myself. Like, are you connected or you're not
Vale, y
connected?
es una de las cosas que me hace a mí parar y pensar si estoy conectado o no estoy conectado.
And if you're not connected,
Si no estás conectado,
go.
te vas.
Go eat something. Go play with
Te
it,
comes
whatever.
algo.
Don't do this.
No lo hagas, ¿no?
Don't do this. You're damaging yourself.
Vale, si te estás perjudicando de alguna forma, ¿no?
And it's a disease for like modern jazz.
Y una enfermedad para el jazz moderno,
We sound like educated musicians.
a veces sonamos como músicos educados, ¿no? Demasiado educados.
And quite honestly, when I listen to Paco de Lucia,
Y
I
honestamente,
don't
cuando-
hear his
cuando-
education. I
cuando
mean, it's
escucho
all there, but I
Paco de
hear a
Lucía,
huge heart and like a true presence of a master. You know what I mean?
escucho a alguien muy...
Everything is there. All the
Está
it's
todo
like
ahí, ¿no?
crazy. It's like amazing, but it's not what gets me. What gets me is his presence.
Lo que me llega es su presencia, ¿no?
And I think that comes from the way he just. I think when he practices,
Es la
when he
forma-
practice, I imagine it was always. I would pay a lot of money to listen to
Y
Paco
se
de
debe
Lucia
un poco a la forma
practicing.
de que como él practicaba, ¿no?
Okay, so it's being connected. So
De estar conectado con el instrumento.
so when I have this board, it's there because I take a standard. I
Cuando
choose
tengo esa pizarra, cojo un
Yeah.
estándar,
like I don't know these foolish things. And I say, okay, this song, does it resonate with me now or it doesn't?
¿esta canción conecta conmigo o no?
It does, cool. Okay. What key that resonates with me now? Because different keys resonate in different ways, in different times in the day.
¿Qué escala va, no?
Yeah, what key? So here? Or
¿En qué momento del día también, no? Un poco, ¿no?
yeah, what's real for me today? I said, A flat feels right for me right now. You know?
But then you have to know in every key.
Yeah. So there you go. So now you have
Tendría que
you have
saber,
your practice for the next
tendría que saber la estándar en
3 hours or whatever.
en cada escala, ¿no?
to transpose these foolish things to A flat. And it's real, and you're next to the piano, and you're connected, and it will get in.
Y tiene una forma de también practicar, ¿no? De ir cambiando, de traspasando
Because if you
la
practice
escala de la
and
canción.
if you practice and you're not present, not only like we talked about like the stage stuff, but the material will not get in.
Es que el material en sí no te va a entrar, ¿no? Si no estás conectado, no...
You know? So this will get in now because this is the key for whatever, 10:30, 11:30 in the morning on a, I don't know what day we are, but in Tenerife, like this is what I feel right now.
Esto es lo que yo siento en este momento y lo que va y la escala que va para esto.
So I make sure that I'm here, I make sure that I'm present, and then I start looking at the board and say and see what exercise resonates.
Y ver qué ejercicios pues resuenan honestamente
with me right now.
Conmigo ahora mismo.
Triplets? No, I don't really feel like. I can do it, but I'm not here. I would be like, it's not what I want to do now. Drop two, like this, you know, drop two is like a chord. You take. You count 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You take number 2, and you drop it, and then you get. It's like a technical thing. So, does drop 2 resonate with you now? Hell yes. It's all drop 2s. So right now I practiced, I took a chord and I moved it through a lot of keys. There was a lot of work that
un acorde lo medí sobre muchas notas.
There was a lot of work that's been done right now.
But trabajo hecho ahí, ¿no?
But for me, I'm in, you know, like I have the key.
Pero yo estoy ahí, como tengo la llave, ¿no? Estoy metido.
So yes, there's a huge mountain of material and things to do.
Hay mucho material que hacer y mucho.
But you can't do everything.
Pero no
I can't. Maybe you can. I definitely can't. So the idea is to be okay with small increments of improvement.
La idea es estar ahí, sentirte bien con pequeños incrementos de mejora.
But make it real improvement.
Pero que sea una mejora de verdad, real, ¿no?
When I left high school,
Cuando fui del colegio,
I remember I woke up at like at 6:30 in the morning.
Me levantaba a las 6:30 de la mañana.
Had breakfast.
Desayunaba.
And from 7 until like 10 at night, like 15-hour days, 12-hour days, I would practice.
Era esto practicando durante casi 15 horas a diario.
And you know, like yeah, you can say, wow, he's practicing a lot, but I wasn't there.
Estoy practicando un montón, ¿no? Pero no estaba ahí, ¿no?
Your brain can't deal with 15 hours of
tu cerebro no puede con 15 horas de ensayo.
Practice. It just doesn't make sense, you know.
No tiene mucho sentido, ¿no?
If you have 1 hour, if you have 30 minutes of like real work,
tienes una hora, media hora de trabajo de verdad serio, pues.
Beautiful.
Mejor.
So I killed myself. I killed my hands. I started having problems. I would be frustrated of like I wanted to be like a good musician and.
Quiero ser un buen músico.
And it didn't happen, you know. So now I'm starting to be in peace with like small.
Ahora estoy un poquito en paz con poco.
Small improvement.
Con poco.
But real focus, you know. So now I started learning this etude by Chopin. It's like I forget it now, but something like. Something like that, you know. And it's like it goes to a million places and like 3 pages of like crazy classical music. But I decided to do it connected and without pain, you know, just like so I just really isolated. I learned it by heart. So, okay, this feels good to me. I'm here, you know. So add the second chord. Okay. Whatever. And I did 2 systems, 2 lines.
Hice 2 líneas, ¿no? En esa partitura de Chopin para intentar sacarlo.
And that's it. I never followed up. I left on tour or something, but.
Y después se fue de gira, así que lo dejó, ¿no?
But the work has been done.
Pero ya el trabajo estaba hecho, ¿no?
You know, and if I learned the entire piece and but I'm not there, it would not come into my system.
Sí, pero si lo estuviese ahí en sí no tendría mucho sentido.
Yeah, so that's just choose. I recommend the concept with the board.
Intentar elegir el concepto ese de la pizarra. Pues,
it's working for me.
Pues funciona para mí, ¿no?
Yeah. So let's write all the stuff and then like start scanning and see what inspires you.
Sí, escribir todo lo que tengas que hacer y ir viendo lo que te inspira en ese momento y.
Yeah. And if something inspires you, do it.
Si algo te inspira en ese momento, pues.
And it's on the board. It says in a few different places. Stop, stop, and stop.
En muchos sitios en la pizarra te dice parar también, ¿no? Es decir, para cuando...
And it's my question mark of like, am I present or not? And if you don't, go.
Sí, es
Go.
una forma de preguntarme si estoy presente o no y parar, ¿no? Y decir parar o no.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Si discriminas o si dejas de tocar ciertas inversiones en el drop 2.
So drop 2 is this thing with 1, 2, 3, 4, take a 2, drop it. So instead of okay, and he's asking about an inversion.
Sí, está diciendo que si
with a 7 in the
discriminas...
bass.
Yeah, the fourth inversion.
So that's an inversion.
Inversión, sí.
I guess. It doesn't always sound good,
12 personas bien, ¿no?
right?
For me.
Yeah. So for this kind of stuff,
Vale.
I would try to be friends with it.
Para este tipo de cosas intentaría hacerme amigo de él, ¿no?
You know?
O
So
de...
not yet. Play it more. You start to hear it.
Sí, a veces que lo tocas más,
you
tocas
stop
más.
resisting, because
Vas a resistirte menos, ¿no? Hacia...
what's disturbing about this inversion is this. So isolate and see. This is really your problem with it. And then okay, so let's try to be friends with it's like there's an octave, and this is flat 9. How do you call it? Like a nona.
Bemol 9.
Huh?
Bemol 9.
Bemol 9, yeah. So this is really your problem, I think, because it's my problem at least. So okay, so let's learn to be friends with this octave, with this interval. So
Sí.
yeah, so. So take a solo, play music, be present, and say that. So actually really beautiful. And be able ear train. You asked. Where's the guy who asked me about this? It's hard. Really hear it, because the piano will give you the answer if you play it.
So you will
Escucharlo realmente,
all
¿no?
the flags 9.
Yeah, just get comfortable with this, and first of all.
Sí, es decir,
So. And then you'll see that this doesn't sound. See, now we're used to the sound. It doesn't sound as bad.
No parece que suena tan mal, ¿no?
So all this inversion. No, sorry. So this is for this kind of the drop two, but I want to just focus more on the philosophy behind it.
Quiero enfocar más sobre la filosofía detrás de ello.
And the philosophy is that when you
La filosofía es
when you fail, when you don't succeed to do something,
cuando no
a lot of times the reason you don't succeed is because there's one thing in it, one really small thing, like there's like a I don't know, like something, right? And then you can't play it and you keep messing up. Usually, or many times, there'll just be like one thing here that's messing you up. But what we'll do is we'll play this over and over again. Sorry. You understand?
I'm a bit lost right now, but you carry on and trying to do a little resume.
Okay, so we have a lot of times we will have something that we work on that's really like.
Sí, muchas veces estamos trabajando sobre algo, ¿no?
But we will not succeed. We will fail.
Sí, que vamos a fracasar, ¿no?
Yeah. But many times the reason we fail is not because this is too hard for us.
Pero el resultado del fracaso no es porque es muy difícil, ¿no?
No, this is okay.
No, esto está bien, ¿no?
This little piece here
Pero hay una pequeña parte
is too hard for us.
que es difícil para nosotros.
Okay? And then once you solve this part,
Y una vez que resuelves esa pequeña parte que sí es
This will be
difícil
okay.
para nosotros, ya todo lo demás va a estar bien, va a estar ok.
so that's the philosophy behind it. And
Esa es un poco la filosofía detrás de ello, ¿no?
and here, for me, why don't I like this chord?
¿Por qué no me gusta
Because
ese acorde?
this little. So let's work on this.
Porque esa pequeña cosa, ¿no?
You learn to solve it.
Aprender a
You see, even the
resolver.
way I present it is like I'm like with anger, you know. But
Estoy como enfadado, ¿no? A la hora de...
it's beautiful. Find ways. So this goes to what I'm saying. This philosophy goes to this chord, but it applies to everything.
Sí, un poco la filosofía va para este tipo, este rollo del acorde, ¿no? Pero va hacia un poco hacia todo, ¿no?
Yeah, find the little mean monsters.
Buscar esos pequeños monstruos escondidos.
Yeah. Any other questions? How much time do we have?
En español.
Bueno.
Cuando compones, piensas en una melodía o buscas una progresión armónica y luego la melodía con arreglo a esa progresión.
Yeah, it's different every time.
Es diferente en cada momento, ¿no?
Some songs just arrive and you say thank you.
Algunas canciones simplemente llegan y dices gracias.
And some come from like a rhythmic idea.
Otras vienen de un concepto
Some come
rítmico,
from an harmonic progression. Some
de una progresión armónica.
yeah, the only thing I cannot tell you how to do,
Lo que
I
no,
cannot really speak about,
lo que no puedo decirte yo, de lo que no puedo hablar es de
composition.
composición.
Because like inspiration, like it's so elusive.
La inspiración es algo tan...
Elusive? No.
No, bueno. I'm turning with my hands.
Like yeah, you try to catch and you can't. You know, it's just
Escurridizo, ¿sí? Bueno.
yeah, it's just the only thing I would say. There's one rule that I work with,
La única
when I
regla con la
compose,
que yo suelo trabajar, ¿no?
and it's if I write something
Si escribo algo
and I sit with my friends
y me siento
at
con mis
home
amigos en
or
mi casa,
around the fire somewhere in
o
nature,
al lado del fuego o en el,
with
en el
guitar,
campo, con la guitarra,
and I play my very limited guitar,
y
you know,
toco mi
and I
muy
sing the melody,
limitada en progresión de acordes
yeah,
con la
and I sing the melody.
y canto la melodía,
It has to work.
tiene
there.
que funcionar ahí,
It has to be good in this constellation.
en esta constelación, ¿no? Tiene que funcionar.
The song, the DNA of the song
El DNA, el
has to
el
work.
ADN
If I
de
put
la
it
canción tiene que
if I play it
funcionar
anywhere, if I put it on a computer, on a MIDI, if I, you know,
en un ordenador, con MIDI,
and then once you have this DNA,
una vez que tienes este ADN,
you can start putting things on top, like arrangements and
puedes ir poniendo
fancy
arreglos y
rhythms and
ritmo.
whatever, you know. But when you, I can show you. Okay, so this is something that a friend of mine, a drummer, showed me.
Algo que un amigo batería me enseñó.
Yeah, so he showed me a concept.
Me enseñó un concepto de...
My phone. Do you know cáscara? Do you know what it is? Cáscara is in Cuban music. You have like
Con la cáscara.
yeah, exactly. It's pretty impressive technique, man.
Sí.
So like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take it. Da 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 da. Okay, it's like a phrase.
Es como una frase, ¿no?
That's what it is. And he said,
Y me dijo,
you play it, and inside there are gaps. Gaps?
si tocas y en el medio, en el centro hay como espacios, ¿no?
Espacio? Gaps?
Gaps, sí.
The empty spaces.
Espacios, sí.
So he said, you feel.
O huecos.
So you feel the empty spaces.
Entonces,
So
sientes esos huecos, ¿no?
so. Okay. So basically you have all the 8 notes, or everything is being played.
Entonces básicamente tienes las 8 notas, ¿no? Todo se está
There's
tocando.
no empty spaces anymore.
No hay huecos, ¿no?
Okay? And then it says you take these ones, and instead of 1, you make them 2.
Y en vez de estas que son 1, haces 2.
So. Okay? So every 1 became 2. And then it says you take every 1 here,
Coges cada
and
uno de los
instead of
abajo,
1, you make it 2.
los de abajo,
So
haces
instead
2
of
también.
ta, you get tara, 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 tara. See? So. Space. Double. Double. Okay? And then if you play it quickly, like
Si lo tocas rápido, ¿no?
Or if you play. So, you hear this crazy thing, and
No, escuchaste ruido loco, ¿no?
and many times you hear drummers doing it like with double bass drum or whatever, like all this kind of stuff.
Muchas veces escuchas a baterías haciendo
But the
doble
interesting
bombo.
thing is that the idea is really simple.
Pero la idea es muy simple.
The idea is ta 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 da ta da ta da ta ta da, and that's what you hear.
Y eso es lo que escuchas realmente, ¿no?
You hear ta 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 da, but with around it.
Sí, pero con el relleno alrededor.
My communication to you is really simple.
Mi comunicación contigo es muy simple, ¿no?
Ta 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 da ta da ta da. Okay, and then with all this extra stuff.
Pero con todo este rollo extra.
Same for composition.
Composición simple.
The song is really simple.
Canción simple.
That's what has been communicated to you.
Eso es lo que se te ha comunicado.
The DNA of the song. It's really simple.
El ADN es muy simple.
It's understandable. It's tangible.
Se entiende, es tangible.
With all this other stuff on top of it.
Con todo este rollo encima de él.
You understand? So I wrote. There's the part that I wrote in my song that goes like
Entonces,
7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is something that I wrote.
es una canción que escribí, ¿no?
So you say like, oh wow, it's like what is it? But what I'm telling you is this. That's the melody.
Esa es la melodía.
Or even more simple.
Más simple.
But you know what I mean? No, this is gal. Paradox is the same. Yeah. So that's the only rule I work with. Make sure that there is a simple song.
Asegúrate de que sí, que parte de la base de una canción simple, ¿no?
And from there on, God is great.
Y de ahí, pues, Dios es grande.
Yeah.
¿Qué consejo le daría a una persona joven para poder continuar o expresarse en la música? ¿Y a dónde le debería ir, en qué sitio debería, en qué país ve usted que se puede estudiar para expresar uno lo que tiene, tener una evolución.
And some help.
What would you aconsejar? Yeah, but what advice would you give to like somebody young who's starting to like play music, and what country would you consider would be the best place for him to start his career or carry on with his career?
Okay. You know, my instinct is to say New York, but I wouldn't say it.
Mi instinto es decir Nueva York, ¿no? Pero
I wouldn't tell you this like with full confidence.
Pero no lo diría con mucha confianza, ¿no?
Because New York is the right place for me.
Porque Nueva York es el sitio adecuado para mí.
And each person is a universe, you know.
Cada persona es un universo, ¿no?
And it would be irresponsible for me to say something.
Sería muy irresponsable de mí decir
to say that there is one right answer of where you should go.
Que hay una respuesta única para decirte dónde tendría que ir, ¿no?
Even for me, New York is right for me now.
Incluso Nueva York es bueno para mí ahora, ¿no?
But man, in one year maybe I'll be on the beach here in Tenerife.
Pero a lo mejor dentro de un año estoy aquí en la playa en Tenerife, ¿no?
I know you agree, Frankie. You know, so I'll start with this. I'm being really careful with answering this question.
Y voy a ser muy prudente a la hora de responderte a la pregunta.
An advice for a young musician, first of all, I'll say.
Un consejo para un músico joven diría que
stay in there, you know, keep at it.
Continúa, sigue ahí, ¿no?
It's for me, it's not a hobby. It's not like a pasatiempo.
Sí, para mí no es un pasatiempo, no es un hobby, ¿no?
Yeah, it's a way of life.
Sí,
it's
un modo de vida.
It's a mirror.
Es un espejo.
It's a love and it's a love-hate relationship. You know, it's
una relación de amor y odio.
And the thing I tell you is just like take it seriously.
Sí, lo primero es que se tome en serio, ¿no?
Yeah, and be ready for a long way ahead.
Y prepárate para un recorrido largo, ¿no?
As for the place to be,
en cuanto al lugar de donde estar,
New York is the mecca of jazz.
Nueva York es la meca del jazz.
Everyone is there. Everyone
todo el mundo está ahí.
It's so creative.
Es tan creativo, ¿no? Una zona.
It's really like a jazz festival every day.
Ahí casi es como un festival de jazz todos los días.
And for me, in New York is really being around people who just constantly create.
Y para mí estar en Nueva York es estar al lado de gente que está todo el día creando, ¿no?
Yeah, I just got an email to join a composers group.
Acabo de recibir un email para integrarme en un grupo de composición.
Compositor.
Compositor.
Yeah, like the best musicians in New York, like there's like 16 guys that
los mejores músicos de Nueva York, son 16 tíos.
And you know, I'm just really happy to get this email and we basically
súper contento de recibir este email.
And we compose a song every 15 days.
Componemos una canción cada 15 días.
With some limitations, some restrictions.
Con algunas limitaciones, algunas restricciones.
We get an assignment. Like assignment.
Sí, una asignatura, ¿no? Una tarea, sí.
Yeah, and the first one was to write a song in that the melody is a diatonic and only 32 bars.
La primera era una canción diatónica con 32 compases.
And then be as creative as you want with it, but within this limitations.
Y después dentro de esa limitación ser lo más creativo posible, ¿no?
And we put it on the internet, we put it on Dropbox, on a folder.
Y lo pones en internet en un Dropbox.
And then we listen to each other's compositions. And
y después escuchamos a las composiciones de cada uno.
And man, I got it and I was like, New York. It's so great, you know, and like.
Y cuando me llegó digo yo, Nueva York.
And the people on this group are like really some of my favorite musicians, and you get
uno de mis músicos preferidos.
You get to put your effort together with theirs and to check out their composition, you know.
De ver sus composiciones, de tú poner tu energía, tu creatividad.
This environment is great for me.
Para mí y este lugar para mí es espectacular, ¿no?
Yeah. But maybe not for other people.
Pero no es el lugar para otras personas, ¿no? Un poco.
Yeah. So I pretty much didn't answer your question, but.
Casi que no te respondí la pregunta, ¿no?
But yeah, I gotta respect the fact that we're different people.
Tengo que respetar el hecho de que somos personas diferentes, ¿no?
Yeah. But come to New York, just see it. It's
Pero ven a Nueva York simplemente para verlo, ¿no?
yeah.
Do you still collaborate with Avishai Cohen, or do you think that you will do something again together?
Was it in Spanish?
Sí, ¿sigues colaborando con Avishai Cohen? ¿O piensas hacer algo más en el futuro?
¿Contacto con él?
Yeah, we didn't play for like 6 years, and we spoke a little.
Tocamos durante casi 6 años.
We spoke a little bit, and I didn't play with him for a long time, but yeah.
Y no tocaba con él hace tiempo, ¿no? Pero
In the future, I mean, I played a lot with Mark Juliana, the drummer.
toco mucho con Mark Juliana.
In Mark's band now, and
Estoy en la banda de Mark ahora.
we'll see. I'm happy.
Ya veremos.
I'm happy with whatever comes. You know.
Estaré contento con lo que venga, ¿no?
I try to see everything as a beautiful thing that comes to
Intentaré
you.
ver todo como algo,
To your road.
algo bonito, ¿no?
Yeah.
I met your piano in Germany at the start, and for me it was amazing. I mean, it's just amazing.
Excellent.
Project.
It's a fun album. Frankie, how much time do we have? 10 minutes. Okay, some more questions?
¿Desarrollaste algún ejercicio, alguna técnica para tener un sonido personal, un lenguaje personal? ¿O simplemente no hay ningún truco detrás de eso? A veces sientes y dejas salir lo que tienes.
Yeah. Everyone heard the question?
Que se decida desarrollar una técnica especial, ¿no?
Para que no salga a lo mejor todo lo que has absorbido durante la práctica, ¿no? Y no te suene similar a...
Yeah, so that really connects to what I told him.
Eso conecta mucho con lo que le dije a él ahora, ¿no?
That we are all universes.
Sí, somos todos universos, ¿no?
It sounds a little bit like New Age stuff.
Me parece todo un poco como rollo New Age, ¿no?
But I mean it, man.
Pero sí lo siento de verdad.
Each one in the room here is like this unique being that would never existed and will never exist after, you know.
Que existe ahora y nunca existirá más.
You have a gift that John Coltrane never had.
Un regalo que John Coltrane nunca tuvo, ¿no?
So that's like the baseline realization that what you are is great.
Es la base, ¿no? Eso es lo que eres es.
And the thing is really to see all the work as a language.
Y ver todo el trabajo como un lenguaje, ¿no?
Why does this masterclass give
este
you something that's personal to me? Like why?
Porque este masterclass te da algo que es personal para mí.
Why am I sitting here and I'm giving you something that's special to me that only I can give you?
Porque estoy sentado yo aquí dándote algo que solamente yo te puedo dar, ¿no?
When I'm using words that everyone else is using.
Cuando utilizo palabras que todo el mundo utiliza.
I didn't invent any words in this masterclass.
Yo no he inventado ninguna palabra en esta masterclass, ¿no?
You know, and it's the combination of the words.
Y es la combinación de esas palabras.
It's the choices that you make.
Esas elecciones que haces.
It's your relationship to silence.
Es la relación que tienes con el silencio.
It's your personality, basically.
Tu personalidad, ¿no? Básicamente.
So the idea is to be as fluent as you can with the language.
Es ser lo más fluido con tu lenguaje.
I know how hard is what you're doing, man. I know.
Don't
worry. The idea is really to be as fluent as you can with the language, and because the language that I'm using, like.
Porque el lenguaje que utilizo, ¿no?
A lot of jazz, but like I told you, Bulgarian music and flamenco.
Hay mucho jazz, pero también hay otros influencias, ¿no? De Bulgaria, de Israel.
So, yeah, be as fluent so you can express what you have to say to the world.
Sí, entonces intenta ser lo más fluido posible para expresar lo que tú quieres decir al mundo, ¿no?
And really, I would say just focus. It's kind of a general advice, but focus on what makes you feel good.
Y, en fin, intentar enfocar en lo que realmente te sienta a ti bien, ¿no?
Because this will be reliable, like this will be honest, and I would want to listen to it.
Sí, y va a ser algo honesto, ¿no? Va a ser algo.
If you play some stuff of other people, or if you try to be someone else.
Si tocas algo de otra gente, intenta ser como otra persona.
If you try to be like there are so many people in New York that try to sound like Mark Turner.
O sea, hay tanta gente que quiere sonar como Mark Turner.
Mark Turner is a saxophone player, like amazing. And I'm like, guys, Mark Turner exists in the world.
Sí, oye chicos, Mark Turner ya existe, ¿no?
Let him be Mark Turner, you know.
Deja que él sea Mark
And it's cool to learn his vocabulary, and I'm doing it all the time.
Es bueno aprender su vocabulario, ¿no? Yo lo hago todo el tiempo.
But a lot of people try to be other. I had a very long Brad Meldau period, but with everything, of like sitting like this with the piano and like the elbow and like.
De sentarme así en el piano con el codo para arriba.
Like okay, you know.
Bueno.
Go on iTunes, get a Brad Meldau album.
Vete a iTunes y cómprate el disco, ¿no?
So it's okay. I do tell people who studied Brad music, who are super into it, and it's like a trampa, right? It's like a trap. If you want to study Brad Meldau,
si quieres estudiar a Brad Meldau,
do it, but do it well.
Hazlo, pero hazlo bien.
Brad is really easy to mimic.
Es muy fácil de copiar, ¿no?
Yeah, he has like this thing. He would play like a run in the right hand, like a and like a melody with like a melody in the left hand.
La melodía en la mano izquierda.
It comes from a real place, but this is easy. Like that's the gimmick part. It's a gimmick. That's like this superficial level.
Sí, un rollo como superficial, ¿no?
You want to study Brad? Transcribe London Blues from Live at the Vanguard.
Si quieres estudiarlo a él, tío, transcribe London.
Transcribe his solo over sola.
Solo sobre sola.
You know what I mean? Do it well, and he's a fucking genius, you know.
Es un genio.
Brad is, and it's just a waste, not just to take the superficial stuff, and then let it go. Like don't go on stage and try to be Brad Meldau. I know it's easy to say.
Es fácil decir, ¿no? Pero.
But it took me a long time to understand that it's okay to be me.
¿No? De ser yo, ¿no?
And it's something that I know out of working also in like workshops of like I do some breathing work.
Sí, de las cosas, de los workshops que hago y
breathing exercises.
Sí, ejercicios de respiración.
In a workshop with other people.
¿No? En talleres con otra gente.
And in this workshop I realized that almost no one can say and really mean like it's okay to be me.
Sí, y dentro de estos talleres nadie sabe realmente decir está bien ser yo, ¿no?
We all insecure, we all like dealing with
inseguridades, ¿no?
We all dealing with our demons all the time, and
estamos ahí luchando contra nuestros demonios.
It's a deep thing to say, like it's okay to
algo
be me.
muy profundo de decir, ¿no?
Yeah, I'm not even saying to say I'm great, not even this, but just it's okay to be me.
Sí, no estoy diciendo que oye, soy la rehostia, ¿no? Sino simplemente está bien ser yo y estar a gusto siendo yo mismo.
Yeah, it's a hard work, man. I'm constantly tired
un trabajo duro, ¿no?
With this work. Yeah. I think we ran out of time, right? Yeah. So yeah, just. Oh yeah, sure. Okay. Cool. So thank you for listening. And I hope it helped.
Gracias por escuchar.